Okay, Discipuli Mei, let's take a look for a few minutes at the 2012 National Latin Exam, Latin 2. Now, remember, when you want to find these tests, you got to scroll around after you click on a given year. So you see the title at the top of this test is Introduction to Latin. So make sure you're taking the right test. We don't want Latin 1, so we're going to come down here to Latin 2. Now, probably talking my way through the whole test right now in one go is not a good idea, so the strategy will be to look at page 1 right here, and then in a separate session we'll look at page 2 with the questions. Okay? So remember, the test is timed, so you can't spend a lot of time on these questions. They're always going to be 40, and I think Mrs. Dorfler can only give you 45 minutes in the library. It may just be 40 minutes, I'm not really sure, so you got to move. If I were doing this test to mimic the idea of speed, I'd look for problems that I can do fast, like number 1. Sine aqua is just a vocabulary problem, without water, A. I look around a little bit for easy stuff. You don't know this yet, so I'm teaching it for the first time, but if you see you are in a word, choose a future tense. So which one of these ideas, A, B, C, or D, expresses the future tense? D. Excuse me, so the you are told me to say D. Looking for something I can do quick. Liket is a word that means you're allowed to do something or you may do something. So non liket, in this sentence, somebody's not allowed to do something. A. I'm looking for allowed or may. Agrees, do not like, are not permitted. I don't see allowed or may, but I do see are not permitted, and that's synonymous with allowed, so I'm choosing D. Number 13, I can do fast. Noli means don't. Bam, choose letter B, you're done. Get moving. 14, I can do quickly because huius is the H chart, and I know huius means of. It's genitive. I'm through. Go choose the one that says of, letter C. 16, I can do very quickly because Iunone says by Juno. Something was done by Juno. We're done here, letter B. Same thing with 17. You got to know your cue charts, and they're on Moodle. You can go find them. Quorum means whose or of whom. Don't read the sentence. Let's go look for it. Right there, letter C. 19, 20, I can do 20 quick. First emperor, we're through. Don't read the rest of it. D, Augustus. 22, most of you know that PS means is something that you put at the bottom of a letter. So postscriptum, you'd find that at the end of a letter. 23 is just a matter of, do you know some mythology? Arachne was challenged by a girl named Minerva who was turned into a spider. So letter B. 24 might not be able to do. 25, second king of Rome. You don't know that either, but 26 you do. What island lies between the toe of Italy and Carthage? Well, you might not know where Carthage is, but the toe of Italy, A. That's got to be Sicily. Okay, so what I try, let's do 27 real quick. 27, Ludi and Munera. You don't know Munera probably, but Ludi are games. And you guys know from Latin 1, games go on in the Colosseum. Right, so I'm trying to show you, you go do the questions that you can do quickly. Don't get bogged down. Move. Now let me show you something you can hit pretty quickly. SE right here. Anytime you see SE or any little word that starts with S, you got to say self or selves. Let's see if this works right here. Yep, going with C, himself. Whether you can read the sentence or not. And what else can you do that might go fast? Laudati sunt, number 9, is a compound verb. So you're going to say was or were plus ed. Let's go find that. Was or were plus ed. Right there, B, we're finished. I think we can pick up 11 pretty quickly. Rufus is a guy. And anytime you're addressing a guy directly, that's what the exclamation point tells me. You're looking right at him and you're talking to him. Anytime you're addressing a guy directly, you make the word end in the letter E. So, B. Hey, Rufus, give me some wine. Put E on the back of his word because you're looking right at him. Hey, now we're getting somewhere. I haven't counted up how many we've done so far, but, we've done some work here. Let's go back now to the stuff that might take a little more effort. Number 2, celerime. Well, in the dictionary, this underlying word is spelled C-E-L-E-R. Okay, if you take a word and all of a sudden add a bunch of stuff to the back of it and make it really, really long. I used to joke around by saying, if you give the word steroids and all of a sudden it just explodes in size. Choose the translation most or EST on the back of the word or very. Most, EST, or very, like faster, or not faster, I'm sorry, fastest, most fast, something like that. Do we see most or very or EST? Right there, D. Number 3, I've got a word which has an O on the back of it. And I'm going to try to switch over to my orange chart for a second. Where do we see the letter O? And we see O in the orange chart in 2 places. Right here where it says 2 or 4, and right here where it says ablative. You want the ablative. Ablative means by, with, from, in, on, at. How do I know I want those prepositions as opposed to 2 or 4? Take a look at number 3. Est difficile. It is difficult to sail. When? In the autumn. So I'm choosing B, in the fall. Now for probably what is the hardest question on this test. I'm going to come down here to number 4. And it doesn't look like much, but this was kind of hard. Soon, this senator will be, and it's pretty obvious what he's going to be as a consul. But the question is, which form of this C word is correct? Watch this. The word consul is describing what the senator is going to be. Now, senator is the subject of the sentence. So that means senator is in the nominative case. All right. Since the senator is going to be a consul, that's describing him, I want to choose the nominative case for consul. Okay, the plot thickens. Now what do? In looking at the word consul, it would be helpful if I knew what color it was. Am I going to be going with my orange chart here, my green chart, my purple chart, my blue chart? Which one am I going with? When I look at consul, I notice that one of the words ends in E. And that tells me that consul has to be a purple word. Right here, there's my E. No other color has purple. Now we're getting somewhere. Which one of these 4 is nominative case? Purple in the purple chart. Well, it can't be E. E is ablative. Could it be I? Is I nominative? No, I's dative. Could it be IS? No, IS is right here, genitive. Well, what the heck is left? Well, it has to be A. It can't be B, C, or D, so the nominative spelling has to be A. I choose A. So what I did was I tried to figure out what color the word was, and I worked backwards. I know I wanted the nominative case. Once I got the right color down, I just thought to myself, what is the nominative in that color? And that's how I chose my answer, A. Number 6, VIS is present tense of wish. The present tense of wish. Please watch this. Did is past tense. Will is future tense. Were is past tense. You want D. Do. You want letter D. That's present tense. Number 7, quibus. You got to know your cue charts. Qui, qui in the plural. Quorum, quorum, quorum. Quibus, quibus, quibus. Boom, you're done. That's the 3rd line. 3rd line is dative. 2 or 4. To whom did the leader give help? Letter C. Number 8. It's worse than it looks worse than it is. If you see IOR in a word, IOR, choose the answer that has than in it. If you see IOR, choose than. The end. What's it say, Mr. Darden? Roman soldiers were braver than all their enemies. Right there, A. You see IOR, choose than. We did 9 already. We did 10. We did 11. We did 12. We did 13, 14. We haven't done 15. This is kind of deceptive, number 15. I don't see why this one's so hard. Uh, Maybe it would help if you could read the sentence. The doctor carried his something friend from the battle. Well, what was the friend? The friend was wounded. How do I know the V word vulneratum is describing friend? They both end in UM. So the about to wound friend, the wounding friend, the wound friend, none of these answers make sense. This is just an adjective describing friend. So the wounded friend. We did 16 already. We did 17. We haven't done 18. And Lord, I don't know if I can explain this in a short way. Let me try this. If you see a word of speaking or saying, like decit, if you see a word of saying or speaking, and they put a blank behind it, choose the accusative case. Choose the accusative or direct object case. A, no. B, no. C, yes. Accusative is going to end in UM. Now, why I'm doing that, I don't want to tell you. Just do it. Number 19, prescience. Well, scio in Latin means to know something. Remember, the teacher yells at sexist, non scis, you don't know anything. And pre means in advance. So knowing something in advance is D, foreknowledge. We haven't done 20. Yeah, we did. We did 20. Number 21. Number 21, you have to know that IACIO in Latin, IACIO means to throw something. Now, if you didn't know that, you're probably not getting this one right. But it's A, throw. We've done 22, we've done 23, we haven't done 24. Think of prenatal care. What does prenatal care stand for? The care a mother gives her baby before its birth. We're talking about birthday. This just says what? Happy birthday. It's a birthday party, B. 25 is hit or miss. You either know it or you don't. Do you know some of these other people? We know Brutus throws the first kings out of Rome. Brutus throws, I said that wrong. Brutus throws the last king and his son Sextus out of Rome. So it ain't D. Cincinnatus is the guy who saves the state. He's not a king though, so it ain't A. Tarquinius Superbus is the last king of Rome. And he's a bad guy. He gets thrown out of Rome. So what's left? C. Numa Pompilius. Here's my point. Maybe you can narrow it down on test day to something that you know. And we already did 27. Guys, I think we hit everything on this test. Remember the strategy. Do the stuff first that you can get out of the way. Then go back and spend your time on the questions that are giving you more trouble. Now, we've done the first half. We still got to go do the second half. That'll be in a second session. Waleta.